I love a good bargain, but honestly, what gamer doesn't? I'm constantly skulking around Facebook Marketplace and eBay for the best gaming deals that I can find.
Oh my god!
And I just so happen to come across this GameCube controller for only 30 Australian dollar reduce. I know what you're thinking, she's looking a bit rough.
You had an accident, what does that mean?
Goo!
But these go from anywhere between $50 to $70 second hand here in Australia. I love a good bargain and a good pet project too, so I thought I'd save a bit of cash and then take you guys along for the journey of cleaning this one up and restoring it back to good condition. I've already gone and tested this one and all the buttons and joysticks are working perfectly, so it's just a matter of cleaning this one up and replacing the damaged joysticks. Without further ado, let's get stuck into it and start cleaning this one up. So the things that I'll be using to clean this controller: rubbing alcohol, spray on furniture polish, Q-tips, a size 2 Y-tip screwdriver, a soft brush toothbrush, as well as some replacement GameCube thumbsticks I ordered from eBay. So first things first is to open up the controller using the Y-tip screwdriver, opening it up and removing all the membranes. Next up is to remove the damaged thumbsticks. Using the soft brush toothbrush and rubbing alcohol, I'm just giving the board a good gentle scrub to remove any dust or grime buildup. To make it easier to clean, I'm just removing the board from the controller shell. Using a can of compressed air, just going over the board to remove any dust buildup. Just using it in the joystick modules to remove any dust buildup in there also. Just continuing to go over the board with the soft brush toothbrush and rubbing alcohol. Now just using a Q-tip with some rubbing alcohol to go over the board. Even though all the buttons were working correctly, just going over the control sensors on the board again with some rubbing alcohol, just to make sure all the contacts are nice and clean so we have good button response. Now to install both the replacement C-stick and control stick. Using the can of compressed air on the back half of the shell just to remove any dust buildup. Just clean the shell with a cloth and some rubbing alcohol. Like the board, I'm just going over with a Q-tip to get in those harder to reach places. Just going over the shoulder button membranes to ensure that the contacts are nice and clean. Normally you don't need to go over it this much, but just with the state of the outside of this controller, I just want to make sure that everything is nice and clean. Like we did with the back, I'm just going over the compressed hair on the front half of the shell to remove any of the dust buildup. And now I'm just using a Q-tip and some rubbing alcohol on the inside of the shell to clean it up. Just going over the shell again with a soft brush toothbrush and some rubbing alcohol. Here I'm just using a Q-tip in all the buttonholes to remove any of the dust and grime buildup. Now I'm just using the Q-tip on the inner parts of the shell to get in all the harder to reach places. Using a cloth and some rubbing alcohol to go over the entire shell to get it looking as clean as possible. Then just using a Q-tip again for the finer details. Using the toothbrush again to go over the outer shell one more time. And then just finishing it off with a good clean with the cloth. Now I'm just using the furniture polish over the entire front half of the shell and we'll let it sit for a few minutes to work its magic. While this is happening, I'll just clean all the buttons and membranes with rubbing alcohol and a combination of the toothbrush and a Q-tip. Taking my time here to get these as clean as possible while they still aren't in the shell. Similar to the front, I'm just covering the back controller shell with furniture polish and we'll let it sit for a minute or two also. While we wait for the back half, just going to rub in the furniture polish on the front controller shell with a cloth to get this looking as clean as possible. Just going over the buttonholes and edges one last time to ensure that we've got everything out of them that we can. Now that the back shell is ready, just going to use the soft brush toothbrush to clean out the final logo details. And then just finishing it off with the cloth to work in the furniture polish. And then finally just using a Q-tip in all the screw holes to clean these up. Now that everything is clean, it's just time to put the controller back together. Just reinstalling all the buttons and membranes back to their original positions. I found the easiest way to reassemble these controllers is to have the front half of the shell face down with the buttons and membranes placed inside the shell, and then aligning the controller board on top of these. It is a little fiddly as you can tell here, the R button loves to pop off if not 100% aligned.
Did you see that jerk? I dropped his note!
The controller cord loops around one of the top screw hole guides, which makes this the easiest way to align it. Also make sure that the shoulder button sliders are all the way up to ensure that they catch on the grooves on the back controller shell. But once everything is aligned correctly, you'll feel that satisfying gentle snap together. Then it's just a case of rescrewing everything together. Then finally just test all the buttons to make sure they feel correct. And we're done. So let's take a closer look at the end result. As the furniture polish and rubbing alcohol didn't remove all the black scuffs on the controller, one of the things I did off camera is to mix equal parts white vinegar, baking soda, and a dash of water to create a paste. Using a Q-tip and gently rubbing the paste into the marks cleaned up pretty much all of the black scuff marks off the controller. I'm super happy with how this has turned out. So there you have it, there's my cleaning and restoration of that GameCube controller. What did you think? Would you have taken the punt on that, or have you had any gaming bargains in the past? Let me know down in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. Anything really helps the channel a lot. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.